Now I know social distancing and isolation has probably got you guys going crazy at this point, maybe scrambling around looking for fun Tacoma projects to work on, so today we'll go over a very quick Tacoma tip, and by quick I mean no intro, nothing, we are getting straight to it, because today I'm going to show you guys how to access all of these switches right here. Now this video will be useful, of course, if you want to add switches here, if you have blanks, but as you can see with mine, they are all full with other stuff. However, for me, I'm going to actually be removing some of these switches so I can change the factory green bulb that is illuminating some of these switches at night with a red LED. I will do that video next, so I will go ahead and tag it up here. So when that's uploaded, go ahead and check it out. And aside from your hands, all you will need is a 10mm socket and ratchet and some trim removal tools. Okay, first step, we do need to remove this footwell trim right here using a trim removal tool or your hands if you just start at one side or the other. This is just tabs holding it in and just sort of pop it up. So I start from the back, is pretty easy. And that one's out of the way. Next step is to remove this fake sort of foot pedal here. It is just held in by a few tabs, so if you just grab it and it'll pull right out. And then go ahead and take your fingers and unscrew this fake little screw stubby thing right here on the top left corner. With that back tab unscrewed, this whole panel will now come free. Alright, at this point we are making good progress. Next, just like with every other interior trim piece, go ahead and remove your wallet holder, whatever you want to call this piece right here. It does, just pull out.
That's what she said.
After that, we have two 10mm bolts to remove. The first is right here. That was exposed by removing this plastic piece over here. Second one, take your trim removal tool. There is a little slot right here at the top of this thing. Pop that down and remove that second bolt. For the next step, we're going to go ahead and start loosening up this lower gray panel. Just grab right here on the bottom left side of your steering wheel column. Sort of pull that out. It does start to pop free right here. Be mindful, all of these are of course plugged in. And then just get your fingers down there. It might help to go ahead and remove this little piece right here. You don't have to, but with your hands under here, it's a little easier to control, and just keep pulling until it gets loose from the tabs right over here. With that left side loose, we are going to do the same thing on the right side. You just grab right back here and pull down and away, and then it will detach this whole bottom piece. And there, the bottom piece is actually free, so if you want to do anything with those lower three switches, you can tell, just looking at them from the top, plenty of room to access those. You would think these upper three switches you could grab up underneath, but actually the bottom of the AC vent right here is blocking your fingers when you try to reach back there. So we do need to do a few more steps to get this top piece removed. And the first step is to remove these are either be screws or tabs right here. There's one right there and one at the top right there on the top of your instrument panel. I think on the earlier second gens, these are actually plastic screws, so just use a Phillips head screwdriver for that, obviously a stubby one, but they are plastic, so be careful not to strip them. On the later second gens, you just take a small screwdriver like this or a pointer and depress the middle of the tab, then take your plastic trim removal tool and scoop both of these out. Next up, go ahead and make sure your steering wheel is as low as it can go to give you room to start pulling off this trim right here. Now for me, I have this bar right here that actually overlaps the side of this trim. That is for how the 2T-pan mounts, so I have to be mindful for this. If you don't have this, obviously it's going to be a little easier for you. But really, you're just going to pull this entire piece with all the gauge clusters off. Just be careful. Remember, there are things plugged in right here, and of course a few things plugged in for your gauge cluster. So just take your time. This is just held in by tabs at this point. Make sure you don't snap anything off. Okay guys, at this point, this bracket over here for my 2T-pan is blocking me from completely removing that, but it is very loose. You can see right here on the passenger and the driver's side. If I move that around, it's just sort of stuck in the corner. However, I have enough slack right here. I can pull this forward and actually access these switches, which is they simply unplug and you can move them out, change the bulb like I'll be doing later, so on and so forth. And of course, if you wanted to access your gauge cluster for any reason, you would be able to do that as well. And even just with this top loose, I was able to go ahead and swap out the bulbs on the fog light and the diff locker switch, so this is plenty of room to get in there. It's a little tight obviously versus just taking this whole thing off, but it is manageable since I don't really feel like removing my whole center console again that I just painted just to get that side of the thing out, even though I'll probably do that soon anyway. Do a tutorial for you guys showing you how to paint and get access to the center rings right here on your console. And that will do it for this quick tip video, everyone. If you guys are doing this yourself, comment below, let me know what you plan on doing. If you're adding switches, swapping switches, you name it, changing the bulb colors, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Enjoy your week and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.